Have you ever just stopped and wondered, what was there before the beginning? I'm not just talking about before the universe, but before the whole idea of creation even existed. Well, today we're diving into a really profound concept from Māori tradition that tackles that exact question. It's called Io Matua Kore. And trust me, it's an idea that's going to challenge how you think about, well, everything.
Seriously, just take a second. Before the Big Bang, before any gods, before anything we could possibly name or even try to imagine, what was there? Just what? That's the huge, mind-bending mystery that this concept of Oneness tries to get its arms around.
So, one of the main ways to translate Io Matua Kore is the uncreated creator. Now, right away, that tells you this isn't a god in the way we usually think of one, It's something else. It's more like a source, an essence, principle that exists way beyond any kind of form. To really get this, we've got to start by understanding its role as the ultimate origin.
Okay, so what exactly is Io? In Māori cosmology, Io is seen as the ultimate origin point, the pure potential that all of reality just emerges from. We're not talking about a god of thunder or a god of the sea here. Nope. Io represents that absolute state that existed before time and space were even a thing.
And when you look at all these different translations, things like the Parentless One or the Eternal Source, you start to see this common thread, right? They're all trying to describe something that just exists on its own. It wasn't born. It wasn't made. It simply is, and it always has been.
All right, to really get our heads around this, we've got to unpack the name itself. Each little part, Io, Matua, and Kore. It's like a piece of the puzzle. So let's start with that first word, Io. First up, we've got Io. This is the core essence, the ultimate reality. It's something so fundamental that, honestly, our everyday words can't really do it justice. Think of it as the central, supreme principle behind all of existence.
Then we have Matuanua. This means parent or origin. Pretty straightforward, right? But it's so powerful. It points to Io as the primary source from which everything, and I mean everything, all life, all consciousness, the whole cosmos just springs into being.
And last but not least, we get to Kai. This translates to nothingness or void. Now hang on, because this is one of the most profound parts of the whole idea, and it's also the part people get wrong all the time.
And this is the absolute key. Core isn't an empty, dead nothingness. Not at all. It's a fertile void. It's pure, untapped potential. It's kind of like the silence that music comes from, or the total darkness right before the light appears. It's the potential for everything.
And what's just incredible about this is that it's a universal insight. I mean, look at this. Different cultures all throughout history have wrestled with this very same idea of a formless, uncreated source. You see it with Brahman and Hinduism, the Tao and Taoism, even with Aristotle's unmoved mover. It's like a deep truth that humanity keeps discovering over and over again.
So, you see, Io is way more than just a cool philosophical idea about the beginning. Within Māori cosmology, Io is the actual foundation. It's what establishes the balance and the structure of all reality.
And this hierarchy really lays it out beautifully. You've got everything flowing from Io, that unseen source at the very top. Then, from that potential, you get Ranji and Papa. That's the Sky Father and the Earth Mother. And from their union, we get the Atua, which are all the spiritual forces of nature. It gives you this incredible picture of an interconnected web of life, with everything and everyone coming from that one, single, unified source. So it's really important to get this distinction. Ino isn't always thought of as a person. A god with a face and a personality. It's much more often described as a kind of essential energy. It's the breath of life, the light, the consciousness that just flows through and infuses everything.
Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for how we're supposed to live our lives? Well, this whole concept of Io gives rise to a really powerful set of sacred teachings about our place in the universe. This right here
This is the core idea. If everything comes from Io, which is the highest sacred principle, then it means that everything carries a piece of that sacredness within it. This concept is called tapu. It basically means that life isn't just some random accident. It's infused with a sacred, divine order.
And when you really acknowledge that sacredness, it naturally leads you to a path of right action. For the Māori priests and elders, this meant living a life of integrity, having deep, genuine respect for all life, and always being aware of that unity we have with the natural world.
So, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, this is a fascinating ancient idea, but what does it have to do with my life right now, today? And the answer, honestly, is everything. The wisdom in Io Matua Kore is just absolutely timeless.
This ancient way of seeing the world, it gives us a profound lens for our modern lives. It's a reminder that we're all part of a deeper, spiritual structure, that we all come from a single, unified source. It teaches us that real power is found in harmony with nature, not in trying to dominate it. And maybe the most important lesson of all is that the sacred isn't just locked away in some special building. It's right here, in everything and in everyone.
When you boil it all down, the message of Io Matua Kore is one of deep, profound connection. It tells us that we are not just these isolated little beings floating around in a meaningless cosmos. No way. We are children of the eternal source. That means we are inherently connected, we are inherently sacred, and we are part of a story that is so vast and so timeless.
So, I'm going to leave you with this to think about. If we really truly lived with the awareness that all life, every person, every animal, every single river and mountain is sacred, how might we walk differently in the world?
What would change?